Let me say good morning. It's 12 a.m. here, so it's morning in Ghana. I don't know where you are listening or watching me from. It's not going to be anything long. I'm going to keep it short. I know many of you will not have it to watch live, but then tomorrow I will upload this onto YouTube. I'm going to make it as short as possible. I'm saying that Nana Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, must open his eyes. He needs to open his eyes. And I'm saying this because I'm not that old, but then I've been around to see this man fighting all his life to serve his country and probably leave a legacy or a mark. And whether you like it or not, in this life, you can leave a mark anyway. And I think that Nana Akufo-Addo, if he doesn't open his eyes, especially when it comes to COVID-19 issues, he's going to leave the negative mark. And he's going to go down in the history of our country as one president who was afraid of democracy, who was afraid of rule of law. Yes. I was watching the late news on City News, City TV, and the news just flashed that the police command in Asante Mampong is conducting an exercise to arrest all citizens in Asante Mampong who do not put on nose masks when they are walking in town. And that is what has pushed me to do this live video, to tell our president, who himself is in isolation. Yes, that's what we are told, that he is in isolation. You know, those of you who have been watching me since I started my online things, you know my stance. There's no way the MPP or NDC will be attractive to me if the NDC and the MPP are the only political parties in Ghana. I will never vote yes. But as an activist, I think that there are things that you can see that somebody has the chance and has a stake in to correct it. For example, when it comes to rule of law and the issue of social justice, if there isn't any president that would take this issue of rule of law and social justice serious, it shouldn't be Akufo-Addo. Yes. And I want the die-hard MPP people to see this video, and instead of lambasting and insulting me and tagging me as an NDC or whatever they would think, they should make sure this video gets to the people that can whisper into our president's head. I, in 2016, did not vote because I knew and I wanted Akufo-Addo to win so that everybody would see that what I've been trumpeting, that there's no difference between the NDC and MPP. The only difference is their colors. Yes. And my prayer was answered. In as much as I was not expecting anything different from Akufo-Addo, there was one thing that I thought he was going to defend. That was his name and his legacy. And I thought that in as much as he was not going to do much for Ghanaians, I thought that Akufo-Addo was going to do things to at least, if he cannot cause a change between himself, his party, and the NDC, I was thinking that he would do something a little in the area of rule of law and social justice. He was going to make the law speak, the constitution speak, the CI and the LI speak. But what his government, how his government has treated the Carlos Ahinkra issue vis-a-vis the lay down laws that has been passed to manage COVID-19 tells me that this president is going to want to go home without a legacy. Yes, because how can Nanado sit down for people of Asante Mampong to be arrested and tomorrow they say they are taking them to court? Not just the people in Asante Mampong. Here in Accra too, I've seen people being arrested in town for not wearing nose masks walking in town. Meanwhile, a minister of state, anyway, news flash in says that the court says Joy Floyd police did not listen to his plea. Okay. So meanwhile, a minister of state has, and a man who want to be in parliament, has flouted this law at its apex, at the top, by mingling himself in public. Hey, Nana, okay, Nana Usu, it's been a long time. We'll talk after the video. A minister has been mingling himself, has mingled himself in public when he knew he had COVID-19. Why should this happen? Why should this happen? And the government could not even put up a fake arrest. Yes, I know what I'm talking about. The government could not even put up a fake arrest to show to the people that they truly believe in rule of law. But rather, they are practicing rule of lawyers. Now, there are people are saying that nobody can persecute the man because there's no proof that when he went out being positive to COVID-19, he infected anybody or somebody got infected through him. But tomorrow, some poor people in Asante Mampong are going to go to court. And some of us will follow this thing. I will do these videos and write articles till somebody listens. Because if Nanado cannot do anything for Ghanaians, I want him to go home with a track record that he stood for freedom and justice, social justice, from his youthful age up to when he got opportunity to serve his people. But as far as I'm concerned, especially in this COVID-19, it looks like the laws that they've made to govern the COVID-19 protocol, safety protocols, only applies to poor people, only applies to people who have no voice, like you and I. So, Nanado, if you really want to go home one day after serving this country and have a legacy, do something about this Carlos Ahinkra issue. Carlos Ahinkra must be arrested and persecuted. Other than that, this law needs to be scrapped. Tomorrow, the Coalition for Ghana's Independence now is coming out with a press release on that. Yes, Nanado must open his eyes. And it's not just the Carlos Ahinkra thing. A lot a lot is going on with COVID-19 that this old man, I think people are not telling him what the issues are. People are not telling him what is happening, and he needs to be told. The way the government started handling COVID 19 issues from the beginning of the onset of the pandemic, it was, for me, it was amazing. And it was winning the president a lot of love by the citizenry. I'm not talking about the free water bill because where I live here, we buy water every day. We don't have water flowing through the pipes here. We buy water where I live here. But that's not my problem. And it wasn't about the cut on the electricity bill and everything, but the way Ghana was managing COVID-19, it showed that we had a progressive leadership. By now, Ghana is chasing the disease because the disease is running ahead of us. Because Ghana and UK, we all started having cases almost around the same time. Hi, Nana Ahonzen. Why is it that UK has been able to open their borders? Majority of European Union countries like Spain, where people were dying in their thousands in a day. A country like Italy, of all countries, has been able to open up their border. And when they opened their border, they couldn't open their border to Ghana. This tells us that we failed so far. Ghana has failed when it comes to the management of COVID-19. In the same issue, we failed. Welcome on board, Ohima Ladi. You see? So we cannot sit down for the police to be arresting innocent people in town, and tomorrow people are going to be sent to court for not putting on nose masks. People whose status are not even known whether they have COVID-19 or not. Okay? They are going to be sent to court tomorrow. While somebody whose status is known, somebody whose driver is or was COVID-19 positive at the time he was going out in public, is sitting there. I mean, why are leaders trying to make being a good citizen difficult for Ghanaians? Why are our leaders trying to push Ghanaians to be lawless people? Okay, that's the man on your shot. That's him. The man I'm talking about, Carlos Ahinkra. That's him dancing with COVID-19. This is it. The man I'm talking about. That's dancing when he knew he had COVID-19. That is him. Yeah. And this is a picture he said when he got out, he did not. Look at him there. He said when he was hugging was about 2 years ago. Who told you? You see, so I'm not the only person. Let me listen to what my brother is talking about on the TV. Okay. Okay, so I'm not the only one who is worried. People are worried everywhere about Carlos Ahinkra. And I think that all Ghanaians must come together to speak up, to let this man face the law. Because we cannot continue to watch on concern for this rule of lawyers to happen. Okay? The law says that when somebody is found outside without the mask on, A, B, C, D must be applied. And somebody has gone out, not just that he had a nose mask on, but this person was infected with the disease. We are not saying that if somebody is infected, it means that that person is destroyed, that person can't live among people. No. But what we are saying is that how does the top, that's the same thing that the poor people are going to prison with, and goes free. That also goes to say suggest how uncivilized we are, and yes, because in any civil country, after he resigned from his ministerial position, the people in Tema Central or Tema West or Tema North, I don't know where he resides as MP, will cast a vote of no confidence on him. That already, look at the amount of money these parliamentarians paid to the delegates before they became the candidate for their parties. You understand? And unfortunately, the ordinary people don't even, the party does not even make political education important for their members. All the parties, the NDC and NPP is interested in is to make their members apparatchiks. where apparatchik refer to people who mostly talk and comment on political issues without learning and understanding for themselves or understand the issues, but they come out to talk based on what their bosses have said. So the idea of the people in a political party punishing a leader, a so-called leader, because I can't call Karas Ahinkra a leader. If I do that, I make fun and mockery of the word leadership. You understand? And I can't call Karas Ahinkra an honorable, because if I do that, I'm making the position of honorable so cheap, which shouldn't be the case. You understand? So, as I said, I'm not going to make this video that long. I'm going to keep it short. Lawyer Bafuboni, I think I've seen you in there somewhere. I greet you. Adanse Pipim, I greet you. Naomi Koko, I greet you as well. So, once again, Nanado must really, really open his eyes wherever he is. Ghanaians, and let me do this finally, to the MPP and to an extent to the NDC as well. The Ghanaian you people have been dealing with since 1992 have been changing gradually. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And if you people have done your calculation based on your 1992, your 90 whatever to 2000 calculation, how Ghanaians vote and behave, I'm sorry. Let me give you one example. In 2016, I knew based on how the NDC managed electricity, that's Dumso, the NDC was going to go out. Plus, how a lot of youth had completed school, tertiary levels of different kind for almost 4 years, 5 years from President Mill's time, who were not employed. I knew the youth were not going to be, I'm an NDC. Therefore, if my party is not delivering, I'm going to still vote, because Nana Akufo-Addo was campaigning on job creation and employment. And majority of the youth, being an NDC or a PPP, whatever, voted for Nana based on that promise. Wow. If you call the MPP now to account of job creation, I don't know a country that has the highest population of its citizens employed. You might think that you are living in that country. And if you call NDC to come and also account on the number of job creation and employment they did, they will sound same. And that is why I have said that I don't think the NPP or the NDC deserve this of mine. They don't. And as a youth of Ghana, as I finish this video, I beg the youth of Ghana, let us start asking questions how we can send the elephant and the umbrella into the bush and crush them. Because these political parties that is full of old people have no future for you. They don't think about you. They don't think about your future. And they don't share the same aspiration with you. When it comes to manifesto writing, they will write for it to reflect you. But year in, year out, party in, party out, you and I know that the NDC and MPP can't do anything futuristic for you and I. So once again, Nana Akufo-Addo, open your eyes. Because if Ghanaians should vote right now based on management of COVID-19, I'm telling you, you'll lose. If Ghanaians should vote right now, Nana Akufo-Addo, you will lose based on COVID-19. Even the way you've just sent everybody out there to go and register. just so that election can be done for you people, either you, the MPP, maintain your power, or the NDC come to power, or whatever. So wrong. And Ghanaians, yes, can punish you, as they say, Asantenkai. They You think they remember your free SHS and everything, but if they realize that their children and their people are dying because of the way you are managing COVID-19, they won't forgive you. All right. Let me see. Somebody want me to add them. Nana, it's too late. Let's do it another day. Now I wasn't wanted me to bring him live on the show. So I'll leave it here. Share the videos, share it, and let others watch as well. Once again, good morning. I'm off.